Title: Introduction to Studio Lighting. Module: Studio Lighting Fundamentals. Natural light teaches photographers how to see. Studio lighting teaches photographers how to create. One of the greatest advantages of working in a studio is control. Unlike sunlight, which changes every minute, studio lights remain exactly where you place them. Their brightness, direction, and quality stay consistent from one photograph to the next. This allows photographers to spend less time reacting to changing conditions and more time focusing on creativity. For many beginners, studio lighting seems intimidating. The equipment appears complicated with light stands, flashes, softboxes, triggers, and cables. However, once you understand a few basic principles, studio lighting becomes surprisingly simple. At its core, it is still about one thing: using light to shape the human form. The purpose of studio lighting is not to make a photograph brighter. Its true purpose is to control how light interacts with the subject. Every decision where the light is placed, how soft it is, how far it is from the subject, and how strong it is changes the emotional feeling of the image. In fine art figure photography, studio lighting allows photographers to create consistent results regardless of weather or time of day. Whether it is raining outside or the sun has already set, the studio becomes a space where artistic vision is limited only by imagination. Every studio lighting setup begins with a key light. The key light is the main source of illumination. It defines the overall appearance of the subject and establishes the direction from which the light falls. Nearly every professional lighting arrangement begins with a single key light before additional lights are added. Learning to master one light is far more valuable than owning many lights. Many award-winning photographs have been created using only one carefully positioned light source. Additional lights should enhance the image, not compensate for poor understanding of the first light. Another important concept is light quality. Light can be soft or hard. Soft light creates smooth transitions between highlights and shadows. It gently wraps around the body, producing elegant skin tones and subtle modeling. This type of light is commonly used in fine art portraiture because it emphasizes grace and natural beauty. Hard light creates stronger contrast and more defined shadows. It reveals texture, shape, and structure with greater intensity. When used intentionally, hard light can create dramatic, sculptural images filled with power and emotion. Neither type of light is better. Each simply tells a different visual story. Distance also affects lighting. A light placed close to the subject becomes softer and wraps more naturally around the body. As the light moves farther away, it becomes relatively harder, producing stronger shadows and greater contrast. This relationship surprises many beginners because they assume brightness is the only thing that changes with distance. In reality, moving a light changes both exposure and the quality of illumination. The angle of the light is equally important. Light coming from directly in front tends to flatten the subject because shadows disappear. Light from the side reveals curves and contours. Light from above often creates elegance and depth. Light from behind produces silhouettes and glowing edges. Changing the light by only a few inches can completely transform the appearance of the human form. The studio environment also provides complete control over the background. Unlike outdoor photography, where backgrounds may contain distractions, a studio allows photographers to choose simple backdrops that keep attention focused entirely on the subject. Black, white, and neutral gray backgrounds are especially popular because they emphasize shape and light without competing for attention. Another advantage of studio photography is repeatability. If you discover a lighting setup that produces beautiful results, you can recreate it tomorrow, next week, or next year. This consistency is invaluable for commercial work, educational demonstrations, and long-term artistic projects. However, photographers should avoid becoming overly dependent on equipment. Expensive lights do not automatically create better photographs. Creative vision always matters more than technology. Some of the most memorable fine art images have been made with a single inexpensive light because the photographer understood how to position it thoughtfully. As you begin learning studio lighting, remember that every complex lighting setup is built from simple principles. Understand one light first. Then learn how a second light changes the image. Gradually add more tools only when they support your artistic purpose. Master photographers rarely think about equipment first. They think about emotion. They imagine the mood they wish to create, and then use light to bring that vision to life. That is the true purpose of studio lighting. It is not about filling a room with expensive gear. It is about shaping light with intention, revealing beauty through careful observation, and giving form to artistic ideas that exist first in the photographer's imagination. When you understand studio lighting, you are no longer waiting for beautiful light to appear. You become the artist who creates it.